We got a married man here on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, the Grand Admiral. we're both blasting our air horns.
Episode 2, Attack of the Air Horns. You've seen it here first, everybody.
Congratulations, Arnold. We're glad to have you back for the video, but here on the channel, happy for the wedding. Everything go well?
Oh, man, it was a great time. Too short, but you know what? Not to get too cheesy, it's great marrying your best friend. That's all I'll say about the matter.
Aw, that's
I know. Give me an air horn. It's been great, though. Thanks for asking.
All right, and then you were thrown right back into the swing of things. I think you got back, and it was like, boom, Echo reveal, boom.
I left it. I came back at the right time. The only thing I missed when I was gone was the Grand Arena changes, and the day I came back, I came off the one of our transports, and boom, the Master Kenobi, Commander Tano news dropped, so I came back at the right time. Now, I didn't really miss too much while I was gone. There was not even a Grand Arena or Conquest, for that matter.
Okay, I have to ask this, because we speculated this on my channel. You got married on the off week for Grand Arena, right?
Yeah.
Did you plan that? Did you plan that?
No.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Yes, I planned 5 months in advance that I'm going to make sure there's no Grand Arena.
You could have done the math. You could have done the math.
I could. Listen, there's no math when it comes to bugs and all that other stuff in Galaxies, but that is funny. It just... The moons aligned perfectly for no Grand Arena, so
the
that was kind of funny.
Imperial's gods obviously gave their blessing to your wedding and did
didn't miss any news either. So I will admit, though, I don't know about you, but sometimes like when you're planning vacations, like watch, knowing me, the time I'm gonna leave, they're gonna announce like 5 Galactic Legends or something like that. So I came back at the right time.
Just one in this case.
Just one this time, right?
Wait, so they announced it when you got back? Like right when you got back?
The second I got in my transport, and they announced it. So I was about 3 hours late to talking about the news, but more or less it was not that far behind.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Bad Batch here today. Arnold, obviously, has done a lot of testing on the Bad Batch. We're talking about general viability here for you guys and kind of what some of the expectations we have for the team are. And then also at the end of the video, we want to talk about Crosshair. And is Crosshair going to come to Galaxy Heroes? What place would he have? I think with getting the 4 Bad Batch characters here, obviously there's a reason that CG sided. Spoilers for that reason on why we don't have Crosshair right now in the game. But I don't think that necessarily means we're never going to get Crosshair. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about viability. Now, I know you got a video coming out later today on defensive viability on the team. Can you give us a little teaser? What are some of your thoughts?
They don't know what they're doing on defense, but eventually they can kick your butt. At the minimum, from what I'm seeing, because Echo at least is the only person doing the right opening move with never any doubt where he applies the daze and healing immunity, and because of his unique ability where he pulls away banners from Grand Arena because he's like New Gunray, it seems like it's almost a guaranteed 5-banner snipe at minimum automatically. And then you have to kind of work your way back up to get those banners back, or try to stop Echo. Echo is just so dang fast. Moff Gideon speed levels. So it's not a lot of teams are going to outrun him. So I think from a defensive standpoint, he should be able to snipe some banners out of your team. But because they don't pull off the right combo like you could do on offense and beat pretty much almost all the top 10 teams out there, I think it's not going to be as scary. I wouldn't freak out if I was someone seeing this team on defense right now. But we still have to find out if maybe there's a better defensive setup right now. Because I put Barracks in the 5th slot, maybe Enfys Nest, Commander Cody, but man, if they're not pulling off the right combo, they're not even getting defense up right away. And that's important for that true damage with the Hunter lead. So, and it's a long story, but basically, I don't know if you know the turn order. Echo opens up. You want Tech to roll with the AoE and get the stun. Tech doesn't do the stun. Wrecker doesn't pull up a taunt. He doesn't get the defense up.
Oh, gosh.
So,
okay.
But they can beat some teams, though. They beat General Grievous teams on defense and stuff like that, which is nice. But they just don't seem to know what they're doing. And it reminds me of Imperial Troopers, where they're god tier on offense, but on defense, it looks like they're playing with 2 left hands or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm personally content with that. If the Bad Batch is just the light side version of Imperial Troopers, it's a really fun team to play with. I don't understand the team nearly on the level you do because I didn't spend however many hours you did streaming, figured out the attack strategies just yet. But from what I've seen from the little exposure I've had to the team, the animations are fun. The synergy is fun. So fun. The utility is fun. And so I could get my mind around that. Now, I also think it's interesting when it comes to a defensive perspective, though. when you get an automatic 5-banner snipe, that is viability sometimes, depending on
yes.
where you are playing the game. And let's remember, we're going to have the divisions expanded, and we're going to have more teams being placed on defense. And so this act, I think I wouldn't close the door necessarily on defensive viability, because going from a 60-banner match to a 56-banner match, in a lot of cases, does the trick.
That's exactly the way to look at it, because like that. It wasn't really holding amazing holds, but for example, I remember there was someone did a General Anakin Skywalker battle. They, at the very beginning, they lost 5 banners. Like they didn't have a chance to try to stop Echo from doing his thing. So Gas winning, but getting 5 banners sniped, and Gas got knocked down too. It's nothing to kind of turn your head against, because sometimes Grand Arenas, they come down to a 5, 4, 3, 2, or even 1 banner difference. So they could make all the difference. That's the best thing about their defense right now, is that they'll pull away a bunch of banners. I mean, there is no unbeatable team in Galaxy of Heroes right now, but that seems to be the big highlight. They're going to snipe some banners, so you're going to want to bring in something that gets a lot of recovery, like Padme or Jedi Knight Luke lead, Jedi Knight Revan maybe, so you could try to get those banners back. But a lot of teams, they couldn't come back with the banners, or some of them even lost because they eventually got the right combo to go off.
Yeah, and we are watching, if anyone hasn't figured it out yet, we totally have Arnold's video playing behind us right now. He's like, just use my footage, and we'll have, instead of trying to recreate the wheel here. I love how you've even got Moff Gideon in here. It seems like we've got a lot of options on that 5th character. So far, who are you liking most as the 5th character?
It depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you want to beat General Anakin Skywalker, it seems almost mandatory. You have Moff Gideon, because Moff Gideon and Echo, they're going to outrun Captain Rex. And then what you're going to do, because the problem is, if you just have Echo against Gas, for example, he's going to open up. We call it the Uno reverse card station, because it is such a good move. He's going to go ahead, apply the daze and the healing immunity, but then Captain Rex just cleans it up right away. So you need Moff Gideon to offset that. So the only reason why Moff Gideon's there is to beat General Anakin Skywalker. And it worked very well. I think we only lost maybe 1 out of 5 times against General Anakin Skywalker. But you have other options. You have Barriz, Enfys Nest. We did Commander Cody. We did Shakti. I think really the biggest kicker is, that one line from the first episode where Wrecker's like, "We're all you need." There are so many battles where you can literally underdog and get maximum banners against Jedi Knight Revan, or beating General Grievous with only 4 characters. So depending on what you're trying to fight, you don't really need a 5th member. Sometimes I felt like a 5th member was holding me back from getting maximum banners. Like, for example, against General Grievous, putting Shakti in, I ended up losing banners, and the Bad Batch just carried it over anyways. So you have that flexibility. The Bad Batch.
She cramped their style.
In some ways, I mean, in some battles, it was nice having a 5th member. Like, for example, going up against Padme, it was nice having a 5th character to try to keep you moving along a little bit. But in just some situations, and it kind of blew my mind. I don't know about you. If I told you when Jedi Knight Revan came out that eventually 4 marquee characters can underdog and never let Jedi Knight Revan take a turn, would you believe me? Like, it's crazy to see how power creep has gotten to this point. So these 4 characters, I think they're fantastic together. They have a lot of options that fit slot. So I'm not upset that we might not ever get a 5th spot, but we could. I think there's a very good speculation that maybe towards the end of the season, we might get a 5th member. Right now, they can beat pretty much every non-Galactic Legends team with these 4, and then you kind of work in the 5th spot depending on what team you're going to fight. So it kind of varies. Like if you're going after Darth Revan, you're going to want to have Shakti for a mass swarming cleanse and protection recovery, Gas, Moff Gideon, and then some other things you can just kind of put in whatever you want. So they have a lot of flexibility. Echo really fixed a lot of the problems I had at the Bad Batch moving up to this week, and did even more. So you have a lot of fun things. Whatever you put in, it's going to spice up the flavor a little bit for this team.
I like that. It fits with what kind of the Bad Batch is, and kind of how they work. They're just kind of renegade, off doing their own thing, breaking the rules, and I love to see it. And we just saw the on the footage. You're not seeing the footage right now, but we saw the 4-man against Jedi Revan. I love it. I love that you can do stuff like that. And so to me, when you look at, if you're going to have this team or not, the offensive viability, I think, is definitely more appealing than the potential defensive viability, which, again, check Arnold's video out later today. He's going to really break that down in more detail. But there's all these teams are getting beat. Having this in your back pocket as a backup plan for CLS, for Jedi Revan, for Darth Revan, for Gas, it's just there's so much value there. And that does a couple things for you. It frees up other characters that you could use on
Exactly.
offense against other better teams, or more importantly, frees up something that you could put on defense to make your defense that much more challenging. And so I think the utility of that really can't be understated. So you're pretty content now with where this is at with Echo. Not really sure if they need a fifth, but if they get a fifth, something you said before we started recording is you're actually a little bit nervous about just how OP this team is going to get if they do get a fifth.
Well, the good news is, I based off their defense, maybe a fifth member could make their poor defensive turn order a bit better, but just on offense, I can only imagine. Like, I mean, I can think of ways to improve this team. Like, imagine let's just give letter O for the fifth slot on this team. Imagine like a mass ability block or immediately start off in stealth and then Wrecker's the only one that taunts, so you get a pre-taunting situation, or a fifth bad batch member to force. Because the thing is, right now we're not really seeing the full potential of some of these characters. Like, for example, Wrecker, if there's a full team of 5 bad batch members, he would immediately pre-taunt at the very beginning. Right now he doesn't pre-taunt because at most he's getting 9 stacks of fury. But if he had one more bad batch member in the fifth slot, you got a pre-taunt, and that really changes up the defensive game, because right now he doesn't get his taunt up and running automatically on defense. So I think a fifth spot could really change this team's ability on defense a bit more. But man, if they do like a starting foresight, starting stealth, a mass ability block or something, there's ways they can make this team even better. But I'm just kind of assuming right now there won't be a fifth element to this team, but it could happen.
So your bet right now is no fifth.
I'm going to make the assumption because it's one of those things. I don't want to over speculate on the future. We can talk about it, but I kind of like to see, all right, we're assuming this is the full team right now. What can they do? And of course they could get better. I think there's a good chance that there could be a fifth. There's at least 2 options that I could think of for the fifth slot. I don't know if we want to talk spoilers on the video today, they could easily add a fifth one.
If you haven't seen the episode, shame on you. Go ahead and leave. We'll do spoilers from here on out. So, all right. So you're talking Omega, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so Omega could easily be a fifth spot, but the question comes, do they want to add a kid that gets punched? I don't know. Or
she could be a passive character. She could be like a C-3PO.
Untargetable type of thing where you can't damage her, but she goes away when the rest of the Bad Batch gets defeated. But like that could be an obvious choice of some sort. We have to see where her storyline goes, but she's seen, we don't know to the extent of what her modifications are, but she seems like she can kind of see things before they happen, type of deal. So maybe like I could see her bringing like a foresight to the team or something like that. Like start off with foresight or something like that, or start up with tenacity up or something like that. And the other idea I had is my predictions are that with the Bad Batch show, it seems like they're going to try to redeem Crosshair, especially after the latest episode 2. The Hunter just kind of realized there's these inhibitor chips, and they just learned about Captain Rex kind of passing by. I wasn't expecting that cameo appearance from that clone trooper guy from the Clone Wars season show.
Yeah,
was that his name? Cut. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to see him. So I feel like this story might progress to the point where they save Crosshair, and then we got the fifth member back onto this team after the show's end, because we have 16 episodes in total. So this is going to go on to like August or something like that. We'll have to wait and see. I think for a couple months it's only going to be these 4, and we have to play around the fifth slot. Sometimes it takes capital games a year to kind of catch it, but the late I'm not kidding. It's like, we just got Beskar Mando, and that was season 1. So it's kind of one of those. It's weird. So it's sometimes they wait a little bit later, and maybe there'll be a legendary. Maybe you need the 4 Bad Batch members to unlock or Omega. I don't know if she's a legendary character right now. I've heard some really crazy theories that that's Rey's mom. And I'm like, I don't know if that's Rey's mom, but
please no. Please, I will throw up all over my computer if that happens.
There's a lot of wild theories running around out there right now.
A lot of people are speculating too that we're just getting into show talk that Omega's going to be force sensitive. Please no. I don't want that.
I feel like it could be force sensitive because it's weird how she kind of sees things before they happen, or she could, like Chiss. I don't know if you know much about the Chith. I'm one of my best friends, Grand Admiral Thrawn. We like to hang out here and there. But if you read the Thrawn
the books, I've read all the books.
You read the book. Okay, so you know that some of the Chiss have they have this foresight that they can see things before they happen. Like, for example, they have these little Chiss kids navigate Vader's Star Destroyer, which is crazy.
Yeah, isn't that cool? It's kind of force sensitive, but not like
Not to the same extent.
straight up,
yes.
we're gonna go grab a lightsaber and become a Jedi or Sith force sensitive. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that kind of thing. But I don't want this to turn into another. Okay, Luke's gonna pick up Omega to join his Jedi Academy.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Because we were just talking about how these Disney shows lately, it's about like a grown man raising a random kid that they came across. We just noticed that today. Yeah.
And then all the kids are gonna end up being with Luke, and he's just gonna be the granddaddy of them all. So we got to talk Crosshair.
Yeah.
Now listen. Obviously, we understand. You made your speculation on Crosshair. I think that could be an eventual end of the show. I personally think all of them are going to die. This is a Rogue One scenario, guys. I would prepare yourself for a Rogue One kind of ending, in my opinion. Obviously, we don't have the same kind of suicide mission yet, but they where are they in Rebels? Where are they in the rest of the with how good their skill set is?
Yeah,
they would be wreaking havoc. I think I'm gonna tell you right now. I think they're all gonna die. I think
that's likelihood. That's a likelihood.
But anyway, so Crosshair, if he gets redeemed, it's gonna be a long ways out. We have a pretty awesome looking Empire version of Crosshair. Your video is ending here. I'm gonna go back and watch some of the footage again. Could Crosshair be introduced as an Empire character? In that kind of Death Trooper looking get up, and we've got a Moff Gideon team right now that feels incomplete. We don't have that support role. Obviously, he wouldn't be Imperial Remnant at this point.
Right.
He would just be straight Empire. But that could be a whole fill. There might be a spot there for Crosshair. What are your thoughts on an Empire version of Crosshair? I mean, you are the the Empire guru, right? This is your realm.
Right. I like him a little bit. I mean, here's the thing. The Capital Games is not shy of creating even if, let's say, Crosshair, let's say they redeem him 4 episodes from now. Let's just say it's such a short period. I mean, we got Stormtrooper Han, we have Captain Han. You have these brief moments
period of time
where they create of time where they create skin. I think it could be possible. It definitely seems like Capital Games got early access to the show. So originally, when we got Bad Batch confirmation, I thought they were basing off season 7 of the Clone Wars. But based off this, it seems like they're basing it off whatever's happening
they clearly
inside the Bad Batch. Yeah. So they know probably more than we do in regards to how this TV show is going to pan out. So if, let's say, Crosshair is straight Imperial for the whole entire season, there might be a chance we get another Imperial unit. I don't know. Here's the thing, Moff Gideon Lee. I think the reason why we don't appreciate him as much because he's just such a good plug and play character for other teams. Yeah. I do make use of him. Like I can get 4 out of 4 in Darkside GOTB in Phase 4, and they can beat
the
some things. He's got a usable team, better than the Mandalorians. It's just when you look at the Imperial troopers, their problem is that Veers and Piet steal all the good troopers and throw them in their team. So he's got to compete with a better Imperial or Super Trooper team, as we like to call it. So it's a usable team. I wish we did have a 5th Imperial Remnant. If Crosshair came, maybe that's a support thing. I kind of saw more as an attacker type of character, but
he feels like an attacker, but I could see him filling a support role. Maybe it's a little bit different with the Empire. I don't know.
I mean, they gave Hunter the attacker tag, and I thought he was more support. His kit is so much more support in the game than it is attacker, in my opinion.
It's just a formality, right? The tag
it really is. It's like IG-11's. It's just a healer. It's not a tank or whatever. So it's kind of one of those things. So I think we could definitely see a new Crosshair. It just depends, I think, where this Bad Batch plot's going, seeing the fact that they intentionally, because let me tell you, I can almost assure you they were designing these characters last year, and because they don't just make characters in 1 month. They've been doing this for a while, I think.
Yeah, it's been out there. Yeah.
And Lucasfilm sometimes based off past discussions, like they knew the overall plot of Rogue One before it happened. That's how they're able to release things like Shrewd and Baze before the movie came out, because they kind of knew in advance.
Don't forget Pow.
Yeah, and Pow. Yeah, Pow and Biston, I think, as well. So they know things that we don't right now. So I guess we just got to wait and see where the plot's going to head. But I think we are going to get a new. It's just weird not getting a new Crosshair, whether Imperial or Bad Batch. I think we just got to kind of wait and see where the tides take us with the Bad Batch TV show. And maybe towards the end of the season, they'll release a 5th member. But right now, it seems like I think we should just set our expectations that 4 is going to be what we're working with for the next couple months. And the good news is that these 4 members are doing a lot more than I anticipated. I called they were going to beat Grievous, but I was not expecting them level. Beating pretty much. Yeah. I think it really came down to Echo speed, because you don't know the kit reveal or the speeds at the kit reveal. And I looked, it's like, holy crap, that's Moff Gideon speed. That's opens up a lot of gateways for possibilities.
Yep. Very well said. And I think you kind of hit on how I feel about Crosshair. I think we're going to see him somehow. It's just how that's going to work, I don't know. But it would feel weird if we did not get a Crosshair. So Arnold,
maybe a Crosshair legendary. I don't know. I don't know if he's legendary.
I don't think he is. I kind of think we might get a Tarkin legendary. Because Tarkin's like
I don't know.
He's the big bad of this season. So
yeah, just
and it's Tarkin.
I don't know. I just because I have a hard time. I guess the Tarkin we have is the original trilogy Tarkin because he's not Grand Moff Tarkin in this point yet in Bad Batch. He's just Admiral Tarkin.
Yeah, so we can get Admiral Tarkin legendary.
Right. So I wouldn't be opposed to it. It's kind of one of those where I kind of find it difficult. We have to see. Maybe there will be this big boss that the Bad Batch fights and. It'll maybe be a new Imperial unit, or we'll have to wait and see. I'm loving this show. I'm excited for where it's going to pan out, and hopefully, this isn't everything that they're going to do for the Bad Batch. I definitely think they can milk at least 1 to 2 more characters out of this easily.
I really hope they do. I was left very disappointed with the Mandalorian content.
Oh,
it was
don't you?
When they made the announcement that they were moving on and going to Bad Batch. I was happy with Bad Batch, but it was like I know they're coming. Where's the Mando content?
I'm trying not the trash Andorians are some of the most frustrating. Like sometimes you get people that disagree with you. I haven't found a single soul that truly believes the Mandalorians are a great faction. Like it's so bad. And don't even get me on Beskar Mando. I have such a mostly hate relationship with Beskar Mando. I think they'll come back. I feel like they're intentionally bad. They'll come back to
viability. Beskar Mando.
I don't know, man. I swear I can put it on full auto and he doesn't know what he's doing and I could just beat him. I've never lost against a single Beskar Mando ever. It's usually if I do lose, it's because I'm
doesn't lose though.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I'm a bit of a outside situation.
Be fair to the common folk here.
To the common folk. Yeah, I don't know. I just he's. I try to love him. I try to use him, and I don't know if you pay attention to my Grand Arenas, but I literally lost the Grand Arena because I tried using him on offense, and he just couldn't beat a Padme team. It was just like, dude. Anyways, I just have a hard time loving the guy. He has potential, but yeah, the Mandalorians in general. I hope they come back because
I feel like they released characters, and then we were waiting on them to release more, and they just didn't.
I think they'll come back to be needed.
All of those teams felt like they were missing 1 or 2 pieces. All of them.
I think they'll come back to it eventually. I feel like they're intentionally bad right now, and they're going to come back and fix them up. But hey, at least Bo-Katan's needed for a galactic legend. So that was the only character I felt like that might be important for something down the road.
Yeah, I'm glad I've got her at 7 stars because I want to get my.
Did you wail? You wailed on her? Oh, okay. At least she's needed for a legendary.
So imagine my feeling when I debated on if I was going to wail on Bo-Katan or Dark Trooper. Went Bo-Katan, not Dark Trooper.
Oh no!
Imagine the emotion.
Okay, well, at least Master Kenobi's around the corner, so it's not all lost.
But yeah,
Dark
Trooper
is way better.
Because my Troopers team is humming pretty well, and I can farm Dark Trooper now, so I'm going to get there, and I'm good on Bo-Katan. So I'm okay with it now, but for a while there, it was agony.
Yeah, Dark Trooper is one of the best marquee characters in a long, long time, but luckily, he just makes things easier for Imperial Troopers. You could still do things with Imperial Troopers without him, but he makes it so much easier.
For sure. All right, Arnold, thank you so much for joining. Everyone, be sure to check out his defensive video here later today. Anything you want to yell at the fam before we jump out of here?
And as always, my brothers, don't forget, Greedo shot first.
Wow. Wow.